Hi everyone, welcome back to One Finance. And in this video, we're going to cover the basics of copy trading. And this is for the beginners and new to the eToro platform. Okay, so here's our usual disclaimer. And then for our discussion points, I tried to narrow down the presentation into 10. So the first one is that we have the basic terminologies. Let me just get my laser pointer here, and then we have checking the bio of the PI or the popular investor, and then knowing the strategy, how to know the minimum amount to copy, and then deciding on to copy existing trades. Number 6, we have the adding and withdrawing funds. 7, realized and unrealized gains or losses. 8, performance and risk scores. 9, we have the asset dividends and the copy dividends. And then lastly, we have the when to copy or until when. All right. So for the basic terminology, we have here cash available. So if you're going to look at the bottom part of the portfolio, so when you click this one, you will have these figures then. So for the cash available, this is the free cash that you can use to purchase asset. So meaning in this example, that's 101. And then for the total invested amount, cash already allocated for existing assets. So meaning if you bought some assets already, that will be form part of this figure here. So in this case, that's $80. And then number 3, you have profit loss, this portion here. So you have it can actually turn green if you're having unrealized gains, and red if you have having unrealized losses. So that's equivalent to unrealized gains or losses, meaning mark to market. So they can vary from time to time depending on the market conditions. So just try to take note of the word unrealized. Okay. And then fourth, you have your portfolio value. This is now your um, total portfolio or equity value, including realized gains and losses. So you have here, if you're going to look at this, is actually a sort of a formula. So you have cash available plus your total invested amount plus your unrealized gains or losses, and that will actually your that will equivalent to your total portfolio or total equity. So in this case, virtual portfolio value of 101,000. Okay, so for the next terms, we have copy trade or copy trading. Now, this is the act of opening a long, so long meaning buy position in a fund or a portfolio managed by another individual. Now, in the eToro platform, they are known as popular investors or popular investor (PI). Okay, now popular investors, also known as PI, is an individual recognized by eToro based on their specific metrics and are ranked from cadet to elite pro. So if you are navigating the platform, you can see there explore I think copy trading, and you will see there the ranking of the as well as the metrics of the popular investors from cadet to elite pro rank. So in this case, for example, you have here portfolio, we have Mabuhay fund. So you can see here the name of the portfolio or the fund, that's Mabuhay fund, and then that's also the username, and then you have here the real name of the person. So in this case, Eric John, and rest we have invested amount, that's 13.44, and then unrealized gains or losses is -5, and the value is actually 12.91. Now in this case, I actually switched on my virtual portfolio and copied my real portfolio. So that's why you can see here in percentages. But if you're going to copy someone, this should have been, or this will equal to the amount that you copy invested. So 7, invested, the percentage amount or amount you invested in the copy trading. So this one, this portion here. So profit loss percentage, the percentage of amount of, again, unrealized gains or losses in your copy trade, this one in this column. And the value is the amount you invested after the unrealized gains or losses. So basically the value is invested amount plus the unrealized gains and losses. Then you will have here equals the value of your copy trade. Okay, and the last ones here, we have buy position. So these are long positions opened by the PI and will make the profit when the price appreciates. So meaning buy or going long. Now the opposite of that is actually sell. Now these are short positions opened by the PI and will make profit when the price depreciates. Okay, so this is also known as short selling or just sell. All right, I hope that you were enlightened about some of the terms being used in the copy trading or in the eToro platform regarding copy trading or PI. And then for our topic number 2, we have check the bio or the profile of the PI. So if you are new to copy investing and you really want to copy someone, you have to read the portfolio of the PI and then explore, for example, here, if you click here, explore copy trading, you can actually search for specific individuals. Now, in this case, for example, Mabuhay Fund, they have this short intro. So here you can see the description, the short description about the portfolio. So in this case, high dividend portfolio designed to generate stable monthly income for retirement. And then the strategy tagging for this one is income, and then the major sector exposures or assets, and then you will have here the number of persons copying the portfolio, and then the numbers of followers. Now if you click show full bio, you will be presented here. So these are the longer, what do you call this, narrative description of the popular investor or the fund. So you will have here, I have some descriptions here about myself, about the portfolio, and then some links here on my publication and my YouTube channel, and then how to contact me and so on and so forth. So that's very important, just to you have any idea about the person or the PI managing the portfolio, and of course about the fund. And then know the strategy of the fund. So if you wanted to copy someone, you have to at least be familiar or oriented about the strategy of the popular investor. So when usually they pin this one, it's a post that they actually pinned on their wall. So for example, in this one, I have one pin post which actually describe my strategy. So there are also pin posts like this one from other investors, from other popular investors. So if you go to mine, okay, these are the stats, the 12 likes and then 14 comments. So if you click that, now this is very different from the bio section. So if you're going to look at here, I have here the objective of the fund, how the strategy, the management of the fund is. So you have your primary objective or primary strategy, secondary strategy, and they are also narrated here the exposure in terms of sector, and then the suitability, the type of investors that may invest in the fund, and then the copy requirements here. So you can actually check the strategy and some discussions about the fund via the pinned post. So remember to visit the pinned post section of the popular investor. So the fourth one is what is the minimum. Now here, if you're going to explore the copy trading of the portfolio, or copy trading of eToro, you will be directed to this link that states that to start copying an investor, the minimum amount required is $200. So the maximum amount you can invest is actually 500,000. Now you may have difficulties in copying portfolios that are very huge in terms of their portfolio size. So that's why here in my pinned post, I actually discussed here that the minimum is actually the $200 by eToro, but the recommended would be the $1 divided by the Mabuhay fund's lowest asset allocation and percentage, and then that's whichever is higher. So let's try to explore the portfolio here. And then in Johnson and Johnson position, for example, if you click that open, you will see here the allocation and percentage 0.17. So it says here $1 divided by the lowest, so that's actually the lowest. So $1 divided by 0.17, and that would give us 588.23, or simply $600. So this is a sort of algebraic expression that you can use to compute for the required or the recommended minimum. So in short, if you copied 200, not all the 35 assets here will be copied. Why? Because if the trade allocation is less than $1, it will not be opened or copied. Okay, so the best way is to follow this formula, 1 divided by the lowest allocation. So you will see here that it's actually around $600. So when you invest copy or open a copy in the amount of $600, then you will exactly copy or open all the 35 assets here in the portfolio. So that's how you should know or assess the minimum copy amount. Next is to decide whether to copy or not to copy open trades. So in my pin post, I also discussed there what are the implications of copying and not copying open trades. So I described that you might be buying some of the assets at a premium. So if you copy open trades, you will receive the dividends of the open positions, and then your copy investment may trade with unrealized losses for quite a while because you bought the entire 35 assets at a single time. So that's why you will be uh, sort of like in an unrealized losses zone or territory for quite a while. So if you click the copy, you will see this one, the performance in the past 12 or 2 years of the copy investor. Then you can decide about the amount, and you can see here that there's a checkbox for copy open trades. Now, if you don't copy open trades, okay, what will happen? Only new trades will be copied, and then you will receive less dividends versus the portfolio, and then least likely for your copy investment to trade with unrealized losses. Why? Again, because you're not copying the existing 35 assets of the portfolio, thus marking it with X. So if you uncheck that one, so meaning you're only copying the trades that are will be opened by the PI or the popular investor from the date or timestamp of your copy investment. Okay, so that's how copying and not copying open trades would affect your copy portfolio. So number 6, adding and withdrawing funds. So funding your account, you can just if you're not sure with the minimum, you can just dummy entry here $1, and then eToro would actually suggest the minimum deposit amount is 50. So yes, you can deposit 50 via Mastercard or Visa card. I would suggest that you use debit card and not credit card, because in credit card, when you withdraw, um, you will be needing some, or you will be paying some fees in order for you to convert that one into um, fund or money. So remember also that eToro will be paying you based on the amount, based on the facility or card or account that you used in funding. So when you withdraw or when you fund your account via credit card, when you withdraw some funds, it will be directed to your credit cards. Same with if you're using debit card, in funding, when you withdraw, eToro would also deposit that one to your debit card. So I would suggest debit card for lesser fees. And then for withdrawing funds, again, you can just dummy entry here $1, and then eToro would suggest here the minimum amount per withdrawal. That's going to be $30. So you can just input the amount here and then click next. All right. So if you go over with your CopyTrade and you right click this three dots here, you will actually be presented with these options. So what are these? Invest more, meaning you are going to add more funds to the existing copy. Remove cash, meaning transfer cash to your available balance. Pause, stop the copy activity for a certain time, and then adjust stop loss. So remember, when you open the CopyTrade dialog box, you will be presented with this one. You can exactly adjust here your like stop loss trigger. So adjust the stop loss trigger according to your preference. So in this case, it's a default of 268. So you can increase it, you can decrease it depending on your comfort level. And then stop copying. close the copy trade position. So all of your fund will go directly to your available balance, net of gains or losses from the copy trade. Okay, so number 7, realized and unrealized gains or losses. So we have two types of gains here or losses. The first one is unrealized. So these are open positions found in the portfolio, which gains or losses may still vary depending on market conditions. So, for example, in the popular investors view, you can see this one number of assets 35, and you have here profit and loss percentage in green. Now, these are actually um, open or active assets or securities, meaning these gains here will actually change depending on certain market conditions. So thus it's unrealized gains or losses because they are still open. Now, if you go to your copy investment view, it will be like this. It's amount plus profit and losses, and then you have your invested amount and then the value. Okay. Now, how about realized gains or losses? Now, these are closed, meaning it was already part of the trade history of the account, which actual gains or losses are recorded during the positions with respective timestamp. Now you can validate this one if you go to the history of the trade of the PI. You can see here, for example, executed 404 trades, 93% profitability, and then the actual gains, meaning the realized gains, is equivalent to 2.38. So good for 1 year timetable here from June 18 to June 18, 2022 and 2023. Okay, so how do you translate this one into a plain English? Meaning, uh, of the 10, every 10 trades executed or closed by the investor, 9 of them are actually profitable. So that's the easiest way to interpret this one. 10 trades out of 10 trades, 9 of them are profitable. So one trade was actually closed at a loss, but 9 of them were actually profitable. If you go to the copy investment view, you will see this one in your closed section. So if you go to the closed trades in your copy investment, you will see here the equivalent profit and loss. Now this is now realized, meaning this is already part of your uh, copy investment because these are already closed assets or closed trade transactions by the popular investor. Okay, for the performance and risk score. So every account in the eToro platform is provided with the stat that you can easily describe or see the performance of the popular investor. So you can see here, you can actually see the year, year to date, month to date, and then you can see respective rates here. So up by, for example, 5.96 and drawdown of -4 and so on and so forth. Now, if you click this information um, button here, you can actually explore how these metrics are being computed. So it's very, very important that the copy investment or the PI is not actually incurring massive losses most of the time, and make sure that the risk score is actually properly managed. So this is now the risk score and drawdown. Now you would want to copy investors that are, having the least risk score as possible with the highest potential return. So you should want to copy investors that are very stable in their risk score. For example, if they have all flat 4, flat 3, or flat 2 maybe, or flat 1, maybe you can consider copying them, because meaning that they are very stable portfolio. Now avoid copying those portfolio with huge drawdown, let's say -10 daily or -20 with huge black or red bars here, max out risk score of 7, 10. You should avoid it because those portfolios are very high risks, or you can actually consider copying them if your risk score or risk appetite actually suits them. But uh, if you are new to copy trading, make sure that you copy portfolios that are uh, giving you a higher potential yield with very much a stable risk score. We have number 9, dividends. So we have two types of dividends here, asset dividends. So these are cash dividends that you will receive from an asset that pays dividends, which are added to your balance. So if you go to this button here, settings, you can actually enable the overnight fees. So when you enable the overnight fees column, that will actually give you the idea on how much dividends are you receiving from that specific stock or specific asset. Now, how about copy trade dividends? Now, these are the cash that you receive from a copy trade, which is equivalent to PI's withdrawal. So when the popular investor actually withdraws some money, this will be declared as dividends and will be added to your cash balance. Okay, so you will be receiving two types of dividends here: asset dividends and copy dividends. So lastly, we have when to copy and until when. Now, some investors or some PIs usually have the duration, pre-computed duration of the portfolio. If they're more on fixed income or more on equities, they can actually have some computations or discussions there. But in this case of Mabuhay fund, so when is the ideal time to copy? It's always ideal to buy at a discount. So you should buy when the market is in red, and then refrain from buying when the market is green because you're actually buying some of the assets at a premium. Now, what is the ideal length, time to stay? It should match the duration of your portfolio. Now, in this case, for example, the portfolio of the fund is composed of some fixed income there with durations 1 year to 3 years. So that's why you need to hold at least 1 year in order to get the full dividend cycle or to benefit from the full dividend cycle. And then, but the generic answer for that is no, no, absolute answer, meaning you cannot just easily decide when to copy or how long can you copy, because that would depend on the strategy of the popular investor and of course your horizon as a copier. And then some have portfolio estimated duration for bond ETF investors, but for equities and direct stock investors it's very difficult to measure the horizon and duration because all of them are subject to market conditions. And then trading strategy assume short-term horizon because of the word trading, meaning that popular investor is trading. It could be a day trading or weekly trading activity. Um, it could be long-term for investing strategy because they are buying some assets for long-term, if that's investing strategy. But some of the PIs, for example, in my case, I use the two strategies, meaning I trade some of the assets, particularly growth stocks, to amplify periodic yield, and I also hold assets for the long term for investing. So this is the quick discussion on when to copy and how long to um, copy. So that's basically it for eToro copy trading. I hope that you learned something about copy trading and that it will help you decide when to copy, what to copy, who to copy, and then the amount of the copy allocation. And remember to that even though if you're copying someone, remember to diversify also. You should pick popular investors that with high risk or low risk or combination of those in order for you to get the most defensive copy portfolio as much as possible. So this video took me a lot of time to create. If you like the video, kindly do the press the like button and share, and then subscribe also if you learned something or if you wanted to get more. And remember to follow us on eToro and share to your friends and family members if they want to learn also about copy trading. Thank you very much again. See you in my next vid. This is Juan Finance signing off. Thanks.